Hey YouTube, this is Rob L, and today I'm coming at you with the Marshall Code 100H head. It's an amp that I've been looking at for quite a while now, and I'm really curious about it, so I decided to pick it up on a scratch and dent sale. We'll see how it is, but first we have to unbox it, so let's go. Okay, so here's the code outside of the box. The first thing you'll notice is that it's much smaller than a standard size Marshall head. Obviously, it doesn't have any power tubes in it. It doesn't have to have a giant output transformer or a giant power transformer, which makes it much lighter and more portable, which is great for gigging. The other thing I want to touch upon quickly is that you may have read some really negative reviews about this amp online, and you may have seen some videos where they really trash this amp. And I think, unfortunately, that's because most of the reviews are of the combo amps, like the 25-watt amp. And whether it's Line 6 or Marshall or Blackstar, unfortunately, at that price point, all these amps come with really crappy stock speakers. And that's why I always replace my stock speakers with either like a warehouse Veteran 30 or some sort of a Celestion speaker. It makes a huge difference. Okay, just a quick side note. Unfortunately, I don't currently own a microphone, so I can't mic this cabinet, but any of the music or the sound samples you hear in this video will be recorded directly into Pro Tools using the head, and I will be turning the cabinet models on for that, as opposed to the way I have it set up right now, where I have them turned off because I am going through a 212 cabinet. The head comes with a basic foot switch that changes patches up and down. You can buy the optional foot switch, which is digital, which I may do eventually, but for now, this works just fine. Okay, so the last part of this review is I want to show you how to create and store patches. I read a few reviews online and even on YouTube where the people say that they thought that this amp was kind of difficult to program and save patches, and I think nothing could be farther from the truth. I briefly read the instructions and I pretty much got it right away. So let me just show you quick. I'm starting with a patch that I created called DSL Crunch. I used to own a DSL, so I thought it would be interesting to kind of compare the two. So let me just jump right in here. So the first thing here is you can change presets by either using the front of the amp under the preset knob, or you can use the supplied foot pedal that I showed you in the beginning of this video. Okay, so the first thing here is I'm going through a 212 cabinet with two Veteran 30 speakers. I have the cabinet simulations off. In my opinion, when they're on, it makes the amp sound very boxy and almost like out of phase. So let's start with the amp. So if you want to edit that, the first thing you want to do is go to Amp, hold it down, and then you'll see up front here, it'll say, right now I'm on OD DSL. And if you want to change that, what you do is you take the edit button and you simply scroll it. Now, by the way, right below that, it says gate. If you want to go to the gate and adjust that, which by the way, the gate works really well, you just simply hit the edit button, you press it in, and you can change the gate. I have this on 4.5, that seems to work. I also go through an NS2 noise suppressor in the front of all my amps. So this is just sort of like a companion to that, but it works really well. Again, back to amp, you hit edit. So we can change which amp we're using. So, and I'm just going to scroll through here. So right now I have it on OD DSL. There's OD American, OD Silver Jubilee. There's Natural, JTM 45, Clean DSL, Clean American, Clean JVM, Acoustic, BLUESBREAKER, PLEXI, Crunch American, JCM 800, 50s British, OD JVM, and back to OD DSL. And we'll hit exit. Okay, so let's go to the power section. So let's say you want to change the power section. Again, hold that in. Now again, below here, there's presence and resonance. If you want to go to those, you hit edit. Presence, I have on 2.7. Resonance, 5.2. So let's say I wanted just to maybe raise that a bit. You just simply turn the knob this way, clockwise, and go back to power section here. So I have it on Classic Marshall 100 watt, which is my favorite power section, but I'll scroll through this as well. There's Vintage Marshall 30 watt, British Classic A, American Classic AB, Classic Marshall 100 watt again. There aren't too many, but there are enough there where you can get a pretty good variety of sounds. Again, hit exit to get out of that. Okay, let's go to the pre-effects section because I have that on as well. Hold that down. So this is a little more complicated, but not a big deal. So right now I have it on pre-effects, I have it on distortion. You can also use in front of the amp an auto wah, a pitch shifter, a compressor, but for now we're just going to stick with distortion. Okay, so go below here. To edit that, you hit edit, mode. So right now I have it on a governor pedal, but you can also change that to an overdrive pedal, or distortion pedal. I like the governor on this amp. I think it probably sounds the best, but you can, again, see what works for you. Now let's say you want to change how much drive is on the governor pedal. You just simply press edit again, it goes to drive. You can raise or lower that. I have everything. I have that on the drive on 5.1. The tone, again, press it again, you can raise or lower that. And the level, how much of the distortion pedal is on. I have it around 5.2. That's fine, that works for me. Hit escape. Or exit, I should say. Let's say you want to add some delay. Hold that down. And there are different types of delays. So right now we're on delay. You can change that. There's vintage, there's multi, reverse, studio, vintage. Again, back to multi. I'm just going to keep it on studio, which I think is more of a digital type delay. And if you want to edit the parameters of that, go down here for time. I have it on around 470. That works for me. Feedback around 4.3. Frequency, which I believe is kind of a treble. And then level, I have it on 4.2 for now. Again, hit exit. Okay, so let's say you wanted to add a chorus to this if you wanted to sound like Zakk Wylde, that type of sound. Hit mod, hold that in. Now there's different types here as well. So right now it's on tremolo, chorus, flanger, phaser. So we're going to go to chorus. And again, I want to edit this maybe a little bit, so I'm going to hit edit. Now there's two different types. I think it's classic and in vibrato. So I'm going to keep it on that. Speed is on 2.7, depth about 4.1, tone 5.0. That works for now. Again, hit exit. And let's say I like what I have here and I want to store it. You simply hit the exit store button. You hold it down until it says stored, and that's it. And one last thing here. Okay, let's say you want to change the name of the patch. So it's really easy. You just simply hold down the exit store button until you see the name of it scrolling, and you hold that again, and there you go. You can change it. And if you want to go to the next letter here, you just keep hitting the edit button, and it keeps going to the next number or letter. And as you can see, I'm scrolling through. I'm calling it DSL Crunch. There you go. And then you would just hit, again, exit store until it says stored. Okay guys, that's really it. Just a brief video, just a quick review of this amp. I think it's a phenomenal amp. It sounds amazing through my 212 cabinet with Veteran 30 speakers. Whatever cabinet you have, I'm sure it will sound great. I do think you have to turn off the cabinet simulations for it to sound right. I think a lot of the bad reviews of these amps are a result of the fact that people are reviewing the combo amps. I don't know if they're turning off the cabinet simulations. And unfortunately, those combo amps are kind of coming with really crappy stock speakers like anything else in this price range. If you are going to get one, I would suggest maybe considering changing out the speakers. Otherwise, if you have a cabinet or if you can afford an extra cabinet, maybe buy the head, because this way you have more versatility that way. I would highly recommend this amp for gigging, for practice, for a basement, or even just for jamming with friends. I think it's one of the best amps I've heard in a long time. I have not been able to compare it to a Line 6. I did own a Blackstar amp before this. In my opinion, this is a much better sounding amp. I think it's more versatile. I just like it better, but it's all personal taste. Okay guys, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. This is my first video of 2019, so Happy New Year. If you like my channel, please subscribe, and I will be back with more reviews of guitars and gear. See you soon.